rise and say my prayer. Little piece of bread to my mouth, little tea to wash it out. It's my daily tribulation, even though I'm a working man. I work so hard to make ends meet, with one suit and one shoe to my feet. Days are getting so hard, yeah, but I got to keep on pushing on this 9 to 5, working to stay alive. On my 9 to 5, working till sun goes down. As the sun sets in the west, I pack my things and head on home, thinking about tomorrow's journey as I try these streets alone. It's my daily tribulation, oh yeah, searching for liberation, yeah. Got to step out of Babylon, take a step to Mount Zion. Days are getting so hard, yeah, but I got to keep on pushing on this 9 to 5, working to stay alive. Oh, on this 9 to 5, yeah, working till sun goes down, sun goes down. Oh, days are getting so hard, yeah, but I got to keep on pushing on this 9 to 5, working to stay alive. Oh, on this 9 to 5, working till sun goes down, sun goes down, sun goes on this 9 to 5, yeah, working to stay alive. Oh, on this 9 to 5, yeah, working till sun goes down. Oh Lord, got to keep working, got to keep working.
Conversation with McFarlane. Glad to be here and glad to have you along. Wednesdays, we focus on business and entrepreneurship, and our focus is through our affiliation, our partnership with the Black Women's Wealth Alliance. We're pleased to have members of the BWWA, the Black Women's Wealth Alliance B Marketplace, being featured here today. And we're going to be delivering interviews like this every Wednesday, at least through the end of the month. We treasure the work of Black Women's Wealth Alliance. We treasure the idea of entrepreneurship among and between our people and the world. And we are so pleased to have the opportunity to partner with the Alliance to help elevate and present and celebrate the creative and entrepreneurial genius that describes these women and our community. I want to begin by reaching out and thanking first my new friend, Mercedes Jaime, who is the Black Women's Wealth Alliance Business Director. Mercedes, uh, bienvenido otra vez. How are you? Good to see you again.
Muchas gracias. I am doing very well, excited to be here. And let me share a little bit let me share my screen with you so that you can see our website and tell you a little bit about the Black Women's Wealth Alliance.
Perfect.
If you can see my screen.
Not yet.
Not yet?
Mm-mm.
Okay, let's see.
Not yet. Still waiting.
How about now?
No. There we go. Here we are.
All right. Wonderful. So this is the website for our B Marketplace. And as you can see here, the Black Women's Wealth Alliance aims to increase the economic stability and prosperity of historically Black women in our community. We focus on a few different items: wealth literacy, as you can see here, business leadership and strategy, which is what my team does, professional development, social capital, and we also have a few grants which some of the businesses here were awarded. And if I may, I also want to show a few of the websites that we have here. So here we have the website for provisionary strategies and strategic alchemy and also wild purple. So we have all these among others. So these are the three businesses that we are being featured today.
Great.
So I'll stop sharing and I'll pass it over to you, Al.
Yeah, and keep those websites ready because as I interview the principals in those organizations, I'll ask you to call them back up and have these owners walk us through their website. Our mission today, as I said, is to elevate, to celebrate, to present, to project the opportunities that women entrepreneurs in our community are bringing to market, and they're bringing it to market in a powerful and special way. It's the B Marketplace. What is B Marketplace? BEE. Well, obviously, when you think of bees and you think of colonies, you know that the power is rest in the queen bee. And so my sense is that this is a collective and association of queens, of queen bees, people that are generators of community, creators of colony, organizers of really the whole flow of building of communities that a queen bee represents. So I think that the name of the organization of the marketplace is apt, appropriate, and speaks volumes to the intent and the reality of these entrepreneurs. I want to thank my association with Black Press USA. We're streaming this live across the country in association with the Black Press of America National Newspaper Publishers Association. So you can check this out on Black Press USA Facebook page. And it's also going to Black Press USA YouTube. Black Press USA is an organization that represents over 200 Black newspapers nationwide. It's the voice of Black America. We're proud at McFarlane Media and Insight News to be a part of that storied and historic, legendary organization that's been a champion for freedom and equity and equality for Black people in our country. We also are streaming over our Minnesota networks through the Insight News Facebook page and Al McFarlane Facebook page. So if you're connected here through we call it the McFarlane Media Dashboard, we thank you for being a part. The dashboard is a mechanism we've created that invites businesses and agencies and organizations in the community to share their social media into one system. And what we do is share our content across all of our systems. And whereas an organization might have a reach of 10,000 or 20,000, if you bring together 10 organizations, you have an organic reach of maybe 1 million, 2 million people. So that's the strategy, the level of engagement that we're talking about. How do we amplify each other using technology? We do that here on Conversations with Al McFarlane and with McFarlane Media. And we do that in association with the Black Women's Wealth Alliance as well. So look, let me go to introducing at least two of the entrepreneurs who are here right now. I see Lynette Commodore, first of all, and I also see Danielle Tucker. Danielle Tucker is an intellectual creative who believes in the impact of real relationships to affect positive change. She's a longtime resident and servant leader in Minneapolis, and she's a resourceful mentor and crafter who executes her purpose in her home, her church, community, and as the owner of her company. The company is Provisionary, capital P, capital V, capital A, Provisionary. We'll ask about that. Danielle, good afternoon. Welcome to Conversations with Al McFarlane.
Good afternoon, Mr. McFarlane.
Good afternoon. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing what you do. But tell me about yourself and about your business. Describe Provisionary, first of all. What is the company and what is the value proposition? What are you offering at and through B Marketplace?
Okay, so Provisionary is the name of the brand, the company that I own and started a few years ago. And so the reason that Pro is capitalized, because there's three words, but it's also one word. And so Pro is being the expert in like what we do, knowing what we do and doing it well. Vision is our belief in seeing what we can't see and what's not yet seen sometimes. And then Airy is just like the existence. And then the word fully collective, provisionary, is just a note to the fact that God is going to provide regardless, and that provision can look like a relationship with a person. It can be a gift for another individual. It can be time spent with people in community. And so it's all inclusive of all the things that we offer. Currently through the B Marketplace, we are offering sweatshirts, t-shirts, crew necks. We are not currently enrolling for our services just because of COVID and trying to keep people safe, but we do offer one-on-one mentoring and then one-on-one support and case management in areas of trying to like find a job or navigate resources that are available. We also believe in being a resource, so sharing resources to people who may not be apt to what's available to them or things that they may or may not qualify for. And also, we are in the Mall of America, so we have some of the crafts that I personally created available for purchase as well.
Where are you in Mall of America?
We're on the second floor, across from Levi and next to Carter's. If you shop for little people like I do, you know where Carter's is. But the suite number is on the south side, and the number is S238. And similar to the B Marketplace, there's a collection or a collaborative of other small-owned businesses here. I can kind of give you a quick swing around.
Well, that's where you are right now.
Yes.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, walk us through it. Take us on a tour.
Okay.
Show us your products. Let's talk about it.
All right. So first of all, I have on the sweatshirt. It says the possibilities are endless, and that's what I believe. We have some affirmations on our crew necks here. They're purple crew necks. They are available on our website, and it says "I am me, and I've always been enough."
You're welcome to talk prices too, because this is about. I want you to sell something today. You know.
Our crew necks are $40, and our t-shirts range from $20 to $30, depending on what you might want done, versus if something is pre-made. And so we have some face masks, like the one I had on. Mm-hmm. We have this one that says faith. A couple variety of t-shirts here. So some of them say like, be pretty, pretty enough, strong enough, pretty kind, pretty smart, pretty brave. We need to come to Jesus meeting. Uh-huh. We also have pins and budget binders if you have goals for this year to be more efficient with your finances. And so this
Mhm.
is a practical tool to help you. And we also customize those as well. We have some business card holders. These are $28. And we have one build something that outlives you. Um, cut the check. And our last one is oh, we're all out of the other ones. And then we have pillows over here. So queens don't sleep on their dreams. God is my refuge and my strength, a reminder that we're fearfully and wonderfully made. Um, and because, like I said, I do have little people and I'm a believer in education, we have some learning pillows here that have like ABCs, days of the week. These are $25. They're also on our website. We have some custom tumblers. We can also like put names or other words or quotes or phrases on those.
Mhm.
And so some of the things that are already ready made are on our website. Some of the things that you might want custom made, they are available by just connecting with us and saying, "Hey, I want this on a shirt. Can you give me pricing? Can you give me a quote?" And we will do our best to deliver. We have some blank T-shirts over here for some of our custom work, and then some paint kits. So we do like paint kits for little people. We host paint parties. We've done a couple this summer when we were able to be outside. So like this is a young man, and it comes with a canvas pre-stenciled,
Mhm.
as well as a picture of.
And we lost your sound. We lost your audio.
Am I back?
Now you're back. Yeah.
Okay. And so then these are a couple other examples, like a prince. And so we try to be intentional with the things that we offer, that they are reflective of the young people that we serve, reflective of our community, but fun and expressive as well. And so here's a couple more. This one's actually painted by one of the little people that we have on display here.
Hmm.
So yeah, that is the gist of the variety of creative services that we offer that are not necessarily relationships with an individual or an extended group for a period of time.
But on top of those products, you also offer counseling, mentoring, connecting, right? And that's you saying you're modified right now because of
Yes,
COVID-19. You don't do it as a group, but you do one-on-one contact with
yeah,
individuals. Yeah,
correct. And so
great.
that can be just accessed. That's not on our website as well. That can be accessed just by sending me an email. But you can go through the website to send an email at the bottom, say, "Hey, I'm interested in mentoring," or "I have this a young person this age looking to connect them with whatever the said resource they might need, or something
Hmm.
to do, or activities." We also do activity boxes and curate things for people to do at home, like the paint kits or like different arts and crafts. We do coloring sheets. Um, you name it, from the creative aspect. If you want it, I can 9 times out of 10 get it done, and if I can, I'll find someone who can for you. And
Well,
so,
how did this business come to you? What's your own background, Danielle?
so from the mentoring aspect, the mentoring piece came from me having mentors. I go to New Salem Missionary Baptist Church, located on the north side, where Jerry McAfee is our pastor.
The mighty
And
Jerry McAfee. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and so, as a young person, I experienced the mentoring program, and I was able to see how the impact of having like a strong, caring adult that looked like me, that understood my faith, and that was able to help me navigate the challenging aspects of my life, but also able to encourage me to continue to be creative despite obstacles, and to be kind to others, to return that service that I was receiving. And so that happened when we were young. And so I think that as an adult, it's only natural to continue to do that, and to reciprocate what you experience, because it's the right thing to do. Um, so that's where the mentoring pieces came from. And so most of my mentors and mentees are from that network. And then those young people have friends that are like, "Hey, can my friend come with us?" Or "Can my friend know about this resource?" Or "Can we do invite her in, or invite him in
Hmm.
and show him?" And then also just from being a caring member of my family. So I'm often spreading the word. Like, did y'all know, for example, like the resources that are available during COVID? Lots of things were accessible to people who may not have known
Hmm.
prior that they were accessible, or prior to COVID didn't qualify for certain assistances. And so sharing that information and just giving people the knowledge that you can try, like they only can tell you no. And if they tell you no, you can ask them why. And that no might turn into a maybe. And so just experiencing that made me want to reciprocate that. And I want to see my people doing good, because I want to live well. And so if I'm not well, if my people are not well, then I'm not well either, because that carries on you when you're in community and when you're in relationship with others.
What's your training? What training do you bring into this work?
I went to school for undergrad. I went to MCTC, then I went to Augsburg. I have a bachelor's degree in youth and family ministry and education studies. And so background is education and serving young people and their families.
You sound
And
like
then from the crafting aspect, it's just kind of self-taught. When I was a little girl, my grandma used to buy me those. I don't know if you don't see them that much anymore, but at Walgreens, they used to have those black fuzzy posters, and there was a white aspect, and it came with like 4 markers, and you can color them in. I did those so many days of my life. So much of my younger years were spent sitting under my grandma, and she would give me a notebook and say, get to writing your name, get to writing your ABCs, get to counting. And even with my siblings, I remember trying to play school, making them be my students. Like, when I call y'all name, y'all better say here. And I walk around the house with a notebook, and I be checking their names off, playing school, playing house. And so all of those things just from the elders in my life, like my mom and my dad and my aunts and uncles and people who just spent time with me and poured who they were into me. Just, I guess I'm just the fruits of their labor. And so I want to do the same as I've now become a parent.
Let me compliment you, number one, for all you've said, but also just for how you're presenting what you were saying. I said, she must be an English major, because you have in my view, beautifully marvelous command of language, of the word, right? And so I'm a wordsmith, I'm a writer. And so I pay attention to how we use words, right? And I'm loving listening to you. I can listen to you all day. You wrap it all together, and you bring the words to life. And it's apparent to me that that's the same spirit that is infusing all of the products that your company, Provisionary, is bringing to market. So kudos to you. I'm going to come back to you. And, I'm glad that you mentioned your mom and your dad and your family, because I think families are so important. And I want to ask you to think about what the influence, you said you used the word, they poured into me. I want you to go deep in a few minutes on the ancestors, the family members that are still present in your life, but those that have passed on that you connect with in some way or another. So think about that, and we'll come back. Let me bring in Lynette Commodore. Lynette's company is Strategic. Is that it? Strategic Alchemy, LLC. So my notes say Lynette Commodore's professional experience is multifaceted, from marketing and project management to broadcast communications to filmmaking, and now body care manufacturing. She's developed a diverse skill set in various industries, both corporate and philanthropic. She brings over 30 years of marketing and event planning experience, with a degree in psychology and technical communications, as well as applied experience in the mental health field. She is uniquely qualified to optimize the relationship between marketing and psychology to create exceptional outcomes for client events and activations. During the COVID-19 pandemic shutdown, Commodore converted her hobby into a business by manufacturing all natural home and body products for her small business, Strategic Alchemy, LLC. Lynette, thank you for being here. What a wonderful story. And I'm excited to hear you tell me about it more in your own words. And I love your background. This is just amazing. I'm fascinated. So I'm going to pass the mic to you and let you just flow with me for a minute. You know what? So this is really informal, and it's intended to be fun. And it's like you and I are talking, but our goal is to talk in a way that maybe 100 or 1,000 or 20,000 more people who are listening can say they were in the conversation without having to be here. What do you mean by that? Well, one thing, I'm going to hold this up. I think last week's or week before last, we had a conversation with the B Marketplace, and here's the product of that. I don't know if any of you have seen this yet, but this is our front page story this week on a phenomenal colleague of yours, Maya Williams, kidpreneur. who, with their parents, was featured on this show a week ago. So we're taking this conversation between the two of us or three of us or five of us, whatever, sharing that with all those who might be listening now and in the future on our social media platforms. But we're also using that content to create newspaper outreach through Insight News. So this story here, the one I just showed you, is going to be reaching 105,000 people here in Twin Cities. We've got a weekly circulation of 35,000 copies per week that we distribute, and we know that there's about a 3-to-1 pass along ratio. So our reach with the newspaper is 100,000 people. So we have a small laboratory of this conversation platform that we use to curate content that we share with many, many thousands. That's why this is so important. So Lynette, I'm passing the mic to you with the idea that you and I are having a private conversation that we're sharing with the world. Lynette.
Well, thank you, Mr. McFarlane. It's so good to see you again.
Please call me Al again. Yeah.
On the show. And thank you for what you do. I read Insight News. My mom reads Insight News. She gives me copies of it every time I see her. Oh, did you see this? Did you see that? And it's an important resource for our community because it helps us to stay connected. And as we've seen with the pandemic, we're being disconnected. So those kinds of just stories about our neighbors and other people in our community, they inspire us and they encourage us and they just keep us going. So thank you for what you do. And thank you for giving us this opportunity to share our stories on here. And my story, Strategic Alchemy, as you mentioned, we started out doing events and we're in 2022, my goal is to get back to doing more events. Mm-hmm. And so the pivot that I had to take because of COVID actually magically created this additional revenue stream for my company. So what kind of seemed like a curse turned into a huge blessing. Mm-hmm. So, around our our company, we refer to it respectfully as Provid, because there are quite a few blessings that have happened, that as a result of COVID. So one of the Provids for me was the fact that something that I have been doing for, I don't even know how long. I know for at least 15 years that I can think of, mm-hmm. that I have been making my own body products. Because I think, as I've mentioned before, I read this article many, many years ago, at least 15 years ago, I read an article where they had shown how many body products, hair, especially hair products, but mm-hmm. body products in general, that were marketed to Black people that contained cancer-causing agents. Wow. Yeah. And it was for me, the number was alarming. And I was like, I first started searching to see where there were natural ingredients or natural products, and I didn't see anything, or the stuff that I tried, which I think all people, especially women, have a million different products in their bathroom that they bought that they thought was going to work, and then they ended mm-hmm. up not using them. I've got, a graveyard of products from things that I tried. And then I was like, you know what? I think I can try this myself. I could mm-hmm. cook, and if you can cook, maybe you're just mixing things up together. And so I just, thanks to YouTube, I saw what some other people were doing, and I started just making my own formulations, and I would share them with family and friends, and they're like, oh, I need your hair gel. I need that butter. I need this. I need that. Have you made any more? Have you, and so it was just kind of a thing that I did, on the weekends and just for my own enjoyment. And then again, when COVID shut the world down, and I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And my friends and family were like, why don't you just sell the stuff that you give us? We'll start paying you for the products that you give us. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, okay. And then so we revamped the website to take it from events to products. And, I've spent the last year and a half, at least year and a half, really just focused on the products and formulating products. And in this last year, I am proud to say that I have really, I hate to use the word perfected, but I feel like they're perfected. Like there's my products. I've been working and tweaking and, you know, getting feedback, and I'm really, really, really proud of the products that are on the website now. I've streamlined them down. Last year when we walked through the website, there were a whole bunch of body butters and a whole bunch of things that now there's only 2 body butters, because I figured out how to do it. And if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. You know, so I streamlined down to two basic body butters, 2 different fragrances, slight differences in the ingredients. But I use them every single day of my life. I can't live without them. I'm personally addicted to them. And I know because of, thanks to the Black Market, which is a live market that happens the second Tuesday of every month over at the Case Building in St. Paul. I've been doing that since the summer, and it's so gratifying to have repeat customers that come back and they're like, oh my gosh, I have to have your butter. Oh man, it was weird, but it was beautiful. This one lady was like, smell my hands, smell my hands. And I was like, okay. And I smelled them and it was my butter. And she's like, I keep it in the car. I always use them, you know? So it's like, it's what became this hobby, you know, has now just morphed into this really beautiful, it feels like an exchange, you know, because it's a way to connect with people, and it's food for your skin. You know, what I'm providing is everything. I make it in my vegan kitchen, you know, everything is food grade, it's organic, it's all natural. You can eat it. I've had a couple of relatives that have accidentally eaten the body butter because I call it butter, and they're like, oh, let me try your butter. It's not very tasty. Well, it's not for the internal, but no one was worried because it's all natural. You know, it just doesn't taste well. But what it does for your body and your skin and your overall sense of well-being, you know, the fragrances that I've formulated are really designed to boost your mood, and they do, you know. So it's really a labor of love, and I feel honored to be able to do this work.
I love your name. Tell me about the name Strategic Alchemy. Where'd that come from, and what does it mean?
Well, alchemy is, in the medieval times, the process of alchemy is really about transformation. And alchemists in medieval times would transform lead into gold, right? Take something that is basically garbage and turn it into the most valuable riches in existence. And alchemy is really what I believe in. And that's what my products, I believe, do. It takes, it takes the roughest skin and turns it into baby fresh, soft skin. And the strategy behind it is, it's more than what it appears to be, right? So you've got dry hands, it's wintertime. Your hands look like you're wearing white gloves. So you put this butter on, little do you know, not only has it transformed your hands from looking, you know, really it takes 20 years off of the way your hands look, but it's fed you, you know, there's all types of, there's sea moss, there's bladderwrack, there's, you know, neem oil, there's so many of the ingredients. And the reason that I selected the ingredients for these body products is because of what they do for you. You know, they're anti-inflammatory. So a lot of them, my mom has got, you know, back issues. I have back issues. I got arthritis in my toes. A lot of us have issues that cause pain, and the root cause of that pain is inflammation. Right. So again, it feels like a luxury, but it actually is a strategic transformation that's happening around your body. And ultimately, you wake up, you're feeling kind of bad, you use some Exhilarate, body scrub in the morning in the shower. Then you use some Exhilarate body butter, and you smell this wonderful feeling, it boosts your mood. And then you walk out in the street and you say hello to a stranger because you just feel so good. And that person's mood, who they may not have spoken to another human being for the last 7 days, which I understand because living alone, sometimes that's my reality. They may be the first person. So now this person is literally filled with joy, and they go and they pass it on to the next person, and they do, and it's a contagion of joy and beauty that started with something that I made in my kitchen, right? That's strategic alchemy to me.
Let me, that's wonderful. When I saw the name, here's what I thought about, and I think it's consistent. It aligns with what you just said, this whole idea of transformation. They used to call it transmutation, with the converting lead or other products into things that are of value. But when I hear the root word chem, I think of ancient Kemet.
Absolutely.
And Kemet is where we are from, where we, the African people of the planet, where the original people of the planet are from. And that the chemistry, the note of chemistry derives from Kemet. And even alchemy is a derivative of our identity as a human people, people from the land of Kemet.
Right.
And chemistry and the nature of our existence was one where we were familiar with and worked in concert with the elements, minerals, air, water, and were able to both divine and deploy the relationships between all of these and ourselves into a space of harmonic possibility. And that harmonic possibility is the basis for transforming things from what they appeared to be to what they could become, because we could see the inner possibilities. That is chemistry, and the basis for what we know today as chemistry, and I think alchemy. It reflects that same knowledge and experience. So that's what it meant to me. So I'm glad you chose the name, and I think it's something we should continue to explore, the root meanings of words and how the words reflect our feelings and our story and our intuition. I think intuition comes into this. I'm sure the name came to you from a feeling, right? And it announced itself to you in a way that let you know that this is who and what it was. Yes. And you simply embraced it and ran with it, right?
Exactly.
That makes sense? Am I describing something that's right?
Beautifully said. I agree with that 100%. Yes.
Okay. So talk about your family, and you know, you've got a great career both in the management business world, philanthropy, but also in psychology. Tell me about the mix of things that go into creating Lynette Commodore.
Well, thank you for asking. You know, I really resonated with Danielle when she was talking about how the person that she is the result of the people who poured into her growing up. Same. You know, I am a product of entrepreneurs. You know, my grandfather, Eddie Robbins, he was the first Black business owner in Hopkins, Minnesota. He owned a auto detailing shop. That the shop is what we grew up with. So I grew up in a world where I really thought business is what you do. You know, my grandfather did it. My dad had a business in the house. So we had a separate phone, you know, where we had to, you know, we had to answer that phone, you know, a certain way. And then
the business voice. Yeah.
I understood the first concept of code switching was my dad's business voice, you know, because he'd be in there talking with us one way, and then that phone would ring and, oh, hello, yes. And I'll be like, why are you talking like that? And he's like, that's my business voice. Oh, okay. So like it was a result of all of these different, you know, the people in my life and the way that they chose to live their lives was an example to me of what, you know, my grandfather's all sides. And I realized just recently that I had blessing that a lot of people didn't have. I had 6 grandparents as a child, that were all alive and pouring into me at the same time. I had my grandparents and then their parents, on all the sides. And then I had, my mom remarried, so I had step grandparents. I had a grandma that would come and live with us in the summertime because she was retired, and she would make peach cobbler, and she would look after us. So I was raised, as much as I was raised with my parents and their siblings, the elders were a huge part of my upbringing. And I'm pretty old-fashioned, really, considering my age and my contemporaries. And some of the things I say, they're like, what year are you from? We don't do that anymore. But that's just, I still send written thank you cards because I think that's what you do. Writing, like Danielle said, writing your signature, practicing so that it looks a certain way, and having your handwriting in a way that people can read. Like my grandmother taught me that, because her handwriting was basically calligraphy. It was so beautiful. So I'm a product of grit. And then, I've got music in my family. I saw my uncle, Rocky Robbins, who's, from South Minneapolis. He became this big star, and he showed me that even the thing that your talent, which is has this amazing singing voice, you can make a business out of that, and feed your family from doing this thing that is just inside of you, So, and then the Commodore family, which, that side, they not only, the Sounds of Blackness, 4x4, MPLS, my Commodore family has made careers out of the blessing that God gave them, So what I learned from just being in this family was, first of all, God gives you something at birth, right? And it's your job to figure out what that is and parlay that into something that not only benefits you, but benefits your family and your community, and if we all do that, then you have this beautiful system and network of creative people and creative things and activities, and it just becomes this wonderful soup of just beauty and joy, which is, I feel blessed. That was my family growing up. It was just this soup of everyone had a talent, and Christmas, we had a family talent show. Literally,
I'm sure.
Everybody,
yeah.
Everybody came and did their talent, and not everyone can sing. Like there's a lot of singers, but not everyone can sing. And so there was, one year my cousin burped the ABCs, but we all applauded like, he did something amazing, because, like I say, that everyone in our family, and something that is the strategic alchemy that I would like to contribute to the world ultimately is the way that I was raised, which I think is kind of missing from the world today, which is I was taught that those things that make me different make me special.
Yep.
That's what's my special sauce, is the thing that I've got that nobody else in the world has. So, and that's what my family really cultivated in all of us. We all treasure our uniqueness rather than trying to conform and be like everyone else. We stand apart. And we look for people who also stand apart. And so we've got this tribe of really unique bohemian people that, make the world go round.
Well, the word that comes to mind when I think about you and the family you've described, you've come from a group of intentional masters. You represent what I call a master class, people who have both discovered and then have also nurtured, protected, appreciated, and as you said, developed and returned to the marketplace, returned to the creator, the gift that you've been given, more beautiful and in its own fullness, bringing it into what it could and should be. That in itself is alchemy. Taking that seed of a gift, the kernel of a gift, and taking that as an investment and working it and bringing it back to benefit humanity. I knew your granddad, Ed Robbins. I don't know if you were around. I interviewed him at his home way back when. I think I'd also interviewed Rocky, because I don't know if you remember Rocky being on the cover of Jazz magazine. Do you remember that? I don't know if you were around then. You might not have been born yet.
I've seen it in a frame.
Okay. So we had Rocky Robbins on the cover of our Jazz magazine back in the 80s, I think it was. But it was a beautiful cover. Just see it in my mind's eye now, him coming down this luscious curved stairway. Probably has on white or something.
And
but
the purple stairs.
Yeah, he is just it's a immaculate in his energy, his style. He's a handsome guy. He's a beautiful man, and the cover revealed both who he is, both externally and internally as well. He's a wonderful human being, a great spirit, and wow, could he sing? Could he ever sing?
He still sings.
Yeah, well, when you see him, tell him I said hello.
I will.
Give him my regards and tell him I just still appreciate him so much and all that he's doing. And of course, the Commodore family. Wow, what a great organization! What a great group of individuals. You say a tribe, and I call you all a class of masters, and that's really great. So. Can you pull up the websites, Mercedes? And I'm going to ask Lynette and Danielle kind of to walk our listeners and viewers through what's on your website right now, and be shameless about promoting. I want you to sell some product, and so whatever you can do to help and show people how you can improve their life by the service and the products you provide, now's the time to do that. So Lynette, can you share? Not Lynette, but Mercedes, do a screen share.
Can you see it now or no?
Not yet. It comes up in a couple of seconds. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, so which one is this now?
That's Danielle's.
This is Danielle's.
Danielle, walk us through that, okay? And you can just tell Mercedes when to switch and which tabs to hit, etc.
Okay.
We're at the home tab.
So here on the home page is where you can contact me directly. Who have interest in any of the one-on-one or small group services that I do provide, you can just use that chat box right there and it'll come right to my inbox. And then at the top, if you click Created to Create, that's where we have some of the things that we have here in shop. Tonight we'll be updating it with some Black History t-shirts and crew necks that we'll have available. But right now you can see the Be Pretty t-shirt that I showed you guys, the I Am Me crew neck. We got a couple Christmas and holiday things on there, so they'll be coming off. But also you can see the business card holders, our Faith sticker journal, and some of the pillows, the pins that we have available, and a couple links to order a custom t-shirt if you would like something customized. And there is a sewing seeds tab if you would just like to give to contribute to the young people that I serve. Also, the custom tumblers are at the bottom. You can see them featured with a few names on them. We did that for a birthday crew, a good friend of mine, a couple years ago. And so we're still doing that. And then we will do some online youth services, things virtually coming next month. And so if you come back in February and you click on the workshops and events, that some of those things will be there.
Great. Let's go through this real quickly.
And also, if you would like to see, I think if you go back to the homepage or down in the bottom, you can click to see our Facebook or our Instagram. We are at Created to Create 419. All the way at the bottom, there's like those little tabs. Yep. Yeah. If you click on those, you can see our social media where we have images of things that we have done in the past, different items that we have done for people. And so that's our Facebook page. And there are lots of more images there. Like that video, you can click there, some more tumblers. There's our space at the mall. And also we'll be sharing resources through this lane as well. So both on Facebook, Instagram, and newly to TikTok, playing around with that just because I do work with a lot of young people. And I think that's where they're at. And so
So have you started TikTok yet, or are you getting ready to?
I started TikTok. I have like 3 videos on there, but hopefully some of my young people will help me get some content. They're showing me I'm still learning.
Well, you can teach me once you get it down, because I'm fascinated by TikTok as well.
I'll
Let,
let
let
them show you. Maybe we can do a virtual Zoom party or something where they can show
that
me and you at
I'd
the
be
same
glad.
time.
I'd be glad to do it.
Everybody else.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's make it happen. Yeah, let's make it happen. Let's go to Strategic Alchemy's web page, and Lynette, why don't you walk us through that?
Okay, yeah, if you'll scroll down, yeah, this is just our basic homepage telling you what we've got here and what you can expect. These are some of our featured products. The lip butter, which, oh my gosh, that's my newest product. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Not to brag, but it's awesome. It's just, it really is butter on the lips. Oh, and I guess we all get this where your lips get real crusty and then
Yep,
they're like cutting the other
yep,
lip with the
yep.
skin. And so that was why I started this. And there's a lip scrub as well. So it's basically the same butter recipe, but it's got this brown sugar in it to kind of scrub off. And then, oh man, it's like I've got a whole new set of lips. I just absolutely love it. Use it all day. And then actually, I need to remove that. That was an event that we just did in December. And whenever we do live events, other pop-ups, we showcase that. You should really look into the Real Magic House. That's an awesome location.
Okay.
But
Where is it? Where is it?
It's actually in Hudson, Wisconsin, the exit 1.
Okay.
And it's a wonderful space. My cousins bought this amazing Victorian mansion, and they have turned it into, it's an Airbnb, but it's also a
event center,
event space, and it's you just, oh my god.
And that's a family business too.
And family business, I'm telling you, that's what we thought you're supposed to do. Like that's what we were, that's the way that we were raised. So it feels like that's what you're supposed to do. If you go to actually scroll down, please, Mercedes, just a little bit, and let me show you some of the featured products, because that will help. Because one of the things I'm shamelessly promoting is something that I have here as well. This is our self-care kit, right? And this is it's our hands down our best selling item at all of the markets, because it's everything in a package. You get your body butter of your choice, the small body butter of your choice. You get a small soap, which these soaps I'm super proud of. I love them too. I was not a big bar soap person until I discovered this brand. It was introduced to me by a friend, and we'll get to them. The soaps. Oh, sorry, I'm not driving. The soaps, though, if you go down to the soap choices, I think if you see the soap choices, then they show you, like, those are some of the options of these soaps. They're all natural, all organic. They're made in Provence, France. And I'm pleased to announce that, as far as I know, unless something has changed in the last few months, I'm the only Black woman-owned business in the United States that sells these soaps. So buy them from us. They're amazing. And you can, if you go to Apothecary, you're almost there's one on the bottom or on the top, either one. Actually, if you go to the Lepi de Provence soaps, two more down. Or even click where you are. Let's talk about the butters, because I'm super proud of the butters too. The body butters, I'll tell you about. They have been a labor of love as well, but I found these magic ingredients this year, which are sea moss and bladderwrack. I started using sea moss because I was taking it internally because it boosts your immune system, right? So I was making my own capsules and using this, and people were talking about you can eat the gel, you can make a gel out of it and eat the gel. And I tried the gel, and it wasn't that tasty to me. So, but I loved the consistency of it. And so I thought, wonder if I put some of this gel in with my butter, what would happen? And so I blended it, and it just so happened that my cousins that have the Real Magic House in Wisconsin, they got married in May in Mexico.
Mm.
And so I had made my first batch of this sea moss butter, and I brought a big tub of it and brought it to Mexico. And it was a family wedding, so I ended up sharing a room with my mom and my other cousin. And so it's 3 women in this room, and everyone's using the same tub of butter, right? And first it was like, oh, we'll use it on our hands. Oh, we'll use it on our feet. Then it was like, well, I'm gonna put some in my hair. I'm gonna put some in. So we were using this all over our whole body, and our room were the only ones in the whole wedding party that were not peeling. Everyone else their skin was all peeling, but our skin was smooth and soft. And that's when I was like, okay,
something's going on here.
I'm on to something here. I'm on to something. So that's when I just really poured into formulating it. I added the bladderwrack. I added a few other ingredients. And then we've got 2 signature fragrances, which is Exhilarate, which is a lemongrass based scent. It's got a lot of orange and citrus in it, so it really boosts your mood. And then the other fragrance, and the Exhilarate has green tea in it as well. And then the Legendary, which is the other butter, it's basic same formula, the sea moss and the bladderwrack, but it uses coffee instead of the green tea. And then it also has the Legendary scent, which is a sandalwood based scent. I like to say they're all gender neutral because I like the sandalwood, but a lot of women tend to buy the Exhilarate and a lot of men tend to buy the Legendary. I feel like they're gender neutral, but it's just a matter of taste. But they're just the most amazing products. You can use them all over your body. If you're going to use them on your face, I would say use them very sparingly. But I have a lot of customers that do use them on their face. My cousin uses them on his face. He doesn't have any issues. Again, because there's so many anti-inflammatories in there and they're lighter oils, so they're not going to clog your skin or anything like that. It's just going to enhance and bring out your inner beauty. So I'm just so proud of them.
Listen, do this for me. Put together a gift basket for me. I want to spend $250 with you and with Danielle, $250 each. And so what I want you, Lynette, to do is to put together a sample set of products for Al and Bobby, me and my wife. And so if there are things you think that would be appropriate for me to check out and to use and things that you think she might enjoy, sample. So do that for me after the show. Call me up. I'm going to give you my credit card number and just package it and ship it. And I'm happy that you're there and happy to do business with you. And then, same thing. I want to spend $250 with you today as well. And I'm thinking that you've got some products that I've got all these great, beautiful granddaughters and grandsons. And your work, in my mind, is motivational and inspirational for these for anybody, but particularly be used for these children. So I've got like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 grandsons, I think, and about 4 granddaughters. And so if you can come up with a variety of things, it could be anything in your collection that would be good for little girls, little boys. I think you can all be kids that are, one is about 12 and one is 10. And the rest of them are all under 5, under 6.
Okay.
So just a collection of things. And because after we get off the phone, call me up, and then I'll put my number in the text, or I'll give you my number, and we'll do a credit card transaction. But I'm pleased to learn more about what you're doing, and I want to be a customer. And I want to do this publicly because I want to encourage other people to be intentional and to spend money with each other. I want to spend money with you because I, first of all, know it's the right thing to do. Secondly, what you've got is phenomenal. and what you represent is just absolutely essential for our people, for our community. So I want to lead by example here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So here's my number: 612-695-0417. 612-695-0417. That's my direct number. And if there are those who are watching on Facebook or YouTube, welcome you to text me if you have ideas, suggestions, recommendations, feedback for this show. We'd love to have you comment. And so I'm glad to share that number publicly with anybody that wants to call. I welcome your call. We're at the end of this show. I want to go back to Mercedes again before we close. Mercedes, just to give a summary of and invite people again to the Bee Marketplace for the rest of this month. Mercedes, go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much. I would like to thank the staff at the Black Women's Wealth Alliance. They're doing a magnificent job. All of our sponsors, of course, you ladies for participating and living what the sign in my office says. What would you do if you knew you could not fail, right? And, you know, here at the Black Women's Wealth Alliance, we want to create a community here at the Bee Marketplace, a place where people support each other. We support the historically Black women in our communities. And just think about, you know, how can you go about surrounding yourself with women who would mention your name in a room full of opportunities? And this is what we're trying to do here at the Bee Marketplace. And I invite everyone to shop. Here are the different categories. We have 6 categories. And of course, we would like to thank all of our sponsors, Bremer Bank, and others for bringing you to and learning so much about the company. So thank you, Al, for your time and for allowing us to introduce these magnificent women to the world.
Thank you all so very much as well. I'm Al McFarlane. We'll see you next time.